Town.
David versus Goliath, man versus nature, prep versus public, Darien versus Brunswick. Tonight, the annual rivalry between Connecticut's top public high school lacrosse team, Darien High, and the top prep team in the Nutmeg State, the Brunswick School, live from the DHS Stadium Field. Hi, everybody. Join alongside my broadcast partner, Dan Arestia. I'm Braden Shanks. So glad you can spend your Thursday night with us here on the DAF Media Network. And Dan, it's the age-old question: public high school against private high school, and tonight they renew it out on the turf.
Yeah, this has become a game that everybody in the state of Connecticut looks forward to every year. Darien's always right there at the top of the rankings. Brunswick, of course, as well. And when I say that, I don't just mean here in Connecticut. I mean in the United States. These are two of the best programs you'll find anywhere in the country. You have commits to some of the best college programs in Division I on the field tonight. You have 5-star recruits. You have everything you could ask for out of a lacrosse game here.
You mentioned the national implications of Brunswick. They have quite the resume so far this season. How about the #1 team in the country? As you see the USA Lacrosse Magazine top 25 rankings this year, Darien sits comfortably at number 11, and the Wave has a chance to knock off the top dogs in the United States. And Dan, anything that catches your eye out there?
Well, you look at these rankings, obviously Brunswick there at 1, you see Darien at 11, but you also see these teams sharing a lot of opponents that are elsewhere on this list. You see Fairfield Prep there at 22. Darien played them on Saturday evening and came away with a win. Darien's going to play Manhasset this year. Darien's going to play St. Anthony's, who's there at number 3. So, these programs both, this is not just their one big game of the year. These are teams that challenge themselves with the best competition in the country all season long.
They do indeed, and this has instantly become a classic over the years. The inaugural meeting in 2019, the overtime thriller in 2021, won by the Bruins. Brunswick has won all 3 of these meetings between Darien and Brunswick, but the Darien Blue Wave looking to flip things on their sides and looking to make some history here tonight, but it's no easy task.
Yeah, it's always going to be challenging. Brunswick, of course, is, like we've said already, the #1 team in the country, and they're that for a reason. Their talent is extremely deep. They're extremely explosive. Everything that there is to do on a lacrosse field, they do at an elite level. So, if you're Darien, this is one of the ones you circle right away, even though, when it comes down to it, this isn't really going to impact your state championship chances, your FCAC championship chances, but it's the one you just really want to have.
And Darien, they enter play at 1-0 on the season. They took down the Jesuits of Fairfield Prep over the weekend, in big part to the junior goaltender Carter Hagan making a career-high 21 saves to give Darien the victory in that game. And Dan, in 2023, with Carter's stick and his command of the crease, it's going to be tough for opposition to score on him. He's going to be keeping Darien in some games.
Yeah, what really impresses you about Carter Hagan is the way he uses his frame to kind of fill the net. He plays angles incredibly well. And what I mean is, as shooters move to different places on the field, Carter understands where to move along his arc, along the crease, to try and show that shooter as little of the net as possible. And then when he finds that ball, makes that first save, starts getting into a rhythm, he picks up the ball well, and he can become kind of a streaky goalie that just turns into a wall. So you want to see him early on with great footwork and with a great reading of the ball coming out of the stick. And if you see that early, then you could be ready to see a big night from Carter.
And on the Bruins side of things, they have a UPenn-bound swinger on there on the offense, Leo Hoffman, who'll be looking to command their offense. 5 goals, 11 points on the season, and Leo has dominated these recent meetings against Darien. What's the impact that Leo brings to this Brunswick team?
Yeah, Hoffman, one of the top recruits in the nation, maybe the top recruit. Him and McCabe Millen are right there at the top of the list. Hoffman, what jumps out at you when you watch him is 2 things, really. His quickness and his explosiveness as a dodger. Coming out of the box, running at his man, coming downhill, he can explode past the defender, and he snaps the ball out of his stick with remarkable pace, hides it well. It's very tough for a goalie to track. his change of direction and quickness is what separates him as an elite high school player.
Those are some players to watch tonight, and joining them on the sidelines is our head coaches tonight for Darien. Head coach Jeff Braymeyer entering his 40th season atop this Darien lacrosse program. And on the other side of things, the Brunswick head coach, the former Virginia Cavalier, and now 16th-year head coach David Bruce. And these are two of the most accomplished head coaches not only in Connecticut, but really in the nation.
Yeah, Coach Braymeyer is, one of the winningest coaches of all time in high school lacrosse, period, across America. He said it's his 40th season. He's been doing it longer than, there are people in the building the longer they've been alive, myself included. So, Coach B has been doing this long enough that he's seen just about everything there is to see in a high school game, and he's going to have his guys prepared. And then Coach Bruce, he has new guys come in and out of his program every year, but they are always going to sit right there at the top of the rankings because they're well coached, they're well organized, and he always has them ready to play on big nights.
It's going to be an interesting battle for sure. It's the Bruins and the Blue Wave in an early season rivalry coming up next on the DAF Media Network.
Good evening, and welcome to Darien High School Stadium. Tonight, we feature a boys lacrosse matchup between two nationally ranked programs as your Darien Blue Wave hosts the Brunswick Bruins. Now for the starting lineups. First up, the Bruins, led by head coach David Bruce, assisted by Christopher Searcy, David Earl, Brendan Gilsenan, and J.R. Mastro. Number 2, Jackson Wolfram. Number 4, Max Warden. Number 7, Andrew Greenspan. Number 8, Luke Hublitz. Number 12, Graham Burchill. Number 15, Captain Hunter Spees. Number 18, Lucas Garcia. Number 19, Peyton Anderson. Number 42, Captain Luke Machalik. Number 44, Robert Platt. Number 50, Captain Tomas Delgado. And number 1, in net, Tucker Williams. And now for your Blue Wave, led by head coach Jeff Braymeyer, assisted by Chris Sabrina and Greg Lewis. Number 4, Porter Barnett. Number 8, Briggs McGuckin. Number 12, Captain Matt McGarren. Number 20, William Bonner. Number 25, Jack Silsby. Number 26, Mark McNamara. Number 37, Ben Billadou. Number 50, Dylan DeRiso. Number 55, Elliot Lancaster. Number 88, Captain Jake Wilson. Number 99, Captain Brady Picorni. And number 1, in goal, Carter Hagan. We now ask that everyone please rise and turn your attention to the flag displayed on the video board for the playing of our national anthem.
The teams are ready for this one as we are just about set for Brunswick and Darien 2023. And Dan, let's look at both of these teams first, starting with Darien. What are the keys to the game for the Blue Wave this afternoon?
You're going to need to handle the Brunswick offense in a way that is very difficult to do because they're so versatile, right? We went through their lineup a little bit and some of the weapons they have, starting with Hoffman, but you look up and down the weapons that they're going to put on the field, guys like Peyton Anderson, Hudson Hoffman, players of that caliber. Those are players that can attack you from anywhere on the field, as a midfielder, as an attackman. And as a defense, you need to be ready to defend that kind of thing. You need to have middies that are able to defend from behind the goal and above the goal. And you need to have long poles that are capable of defending from everywhere as well. So for Darien, story for me early is, what are our matchups looking like? Who's guarding who? And how ready are they to move around the field and guard from places where they might not be comfortable?
And how about on the Brunswick side of things? What's the keys to the game for the Bruins tonight?
I think you want to make sure that you stop number 99. Brady Picorni is one of the most electric dodgers and left-handed attackmen in the country. I think it's no secret to anyone in the building that the offense is probably going to start with him. They're going to try and get him involved early and often and see if they can get him to his left hand. I think Brunswick's scout needs to be, let's make sure we make 99 a righty as often as we can. Let's make sure we have help ready to go. And let's make sure that if Darien's going to beat us, it's going to be somebody else doing it.
Hagan and Williams exchange the handshakes. We are just about ready to go here on this Thursday night. Andrew Greenspan and Jack Silsby, the two Fogos to get us started. Greenspan, one of the most electric Fogos in the country. He won 87% of them against Deerfield Academy last week. And quite the advantage it is to get the opening face-off. Fans still trickling in on the Darien High School Stadium Field out here on this Thursday night. Picture perfect for some lacrosse. Silsby and Greenspan. And here we go. Greenspan fields the ground ball. Brunswick controls the opening possession. The Bruins, they are in their road black jerseys with the orangish yellowish helmets, I guess you could say, moving from right to left on your screen. Darien in the home whites with the gray helmets moving from left to right.
And a quick face-off win there for Greenspan. And you saw Hunter Spies involved and looking to attack even as a defenseman, picking up the ball off the ground. That's been a strength for him in his career.
So Brunswick moves it around. Jackson Wolfram, the senior attack. Now the captain, Tomas Delgado. Delgado's got 8 goals on the season. He's one of many players on this Brunswick team that can kill you. Looking for the screen from Warden. Whistle against the Bruins.
They're going to get an illegal screen there, a little interference call. That's an offensive strategy. I would expect Darien to deploy the same kind of thing. They're trying to free up Delgado to his strong hand, sweeping across the top. Darien loves to do the same kind of thing with their Dodgers.
Now the Wave will set up their first look on the offense. Morgan Rupenstein getting the touch. Rupenstein, the junior, he had 2 goals against Fairfield Prep, a game in which the Wave took down the Jesuits 9-8. A spin move from Picorni. Picorni going to try his luck again. The shot, and Williams makes the first save. Tucker Williams going to his left side. He stops Picorni. Now the quick offense finds the long stick of Hublitz.
That's good defense from Spies there to make sure that Picorni, again, moving back to his right hand. He's a lefty-dominant player. He wants to get to his left. Spies makes him take that shot right-handed.
Brunswick on their second look on the offense now. The whistle turned it over for him. Leo Hoffman, our player to watch, going up the middle. Hands it off, throws it past the intended receiver of number 19, Peyton Anderson. And again, a turnover on the Bruins.
Darien defense very quick to collapse there on Hoffman as a Dodger and forces that pass to be errant. So a good job there from the Darien D to try and create that turnover.
Bonner has to leap up a ways and put the long stick to it. He corrals it, however. Just past Bilodeau, that's turned over. And Picorni grabs it past the stick of Spies. Picorni wrapping around, shooting it just wide.
Picorni looking for the backhanded goal there. He will always have a flair for the dramatic play. You'll see no shortage of highlights from him.
Now Brunswick will slow it down. Again, a high pass. That one grabbed by Andrew Donovan. Brunswick, a team that is 4-0 on the season, most recently taking down Kent yesterday by the final of 16-2, a game that the Brunswick offense came alive, and they did not look back. But a much different opponent here in Darien, a nationally ranked opponent in Darien. Hoffman passes defender and Wilson down low, the shot and a goal. Max Warden opens up the scoring, and Brunswick gets the first blood. Max Warden, the junior, with the goal.
Yeah, you see Hoffman there coming out of the box is where he's most dangerous if he's that last sub on. He gets to attack a pole in space, and even though it's a pole and a good one at that, he's able to create to his right hand. The help comes, and that second slide is where that pass goes. He fills the space very nicely there on the crease, does Warden, and Hoffman finds him with a great pass right through that defense.
Max Warden, his 6th goal on the season, and Brunswick goes up 1-0. The Brown commit opens up the scoring for Brunswick. And just a textbook pass from Hoffman puts the Bruins up. Now Silsby and Greenspan. Flicked up from Greenspan. He corrals it. And now Brunswick goes back on the offense.
And 2 clean wins for Greenspan early here. That'll be something to watch for Darien. If they're going to have to play a game where possession might be harder to come by because they're unable to win faceoffs, they won't be able to string possessions together. That's not a good place to be when you're playing Brunswick. So they'll have to try and find ways to counter Greenspan.
Brunswick slowing it down. They have it in the attacking third. There's Peyton Anderson. Again, no shot clock in this game this afternoon, so something Brunswick does not have to worry about.
I was about to say, we're just now seeing the substitution of Greenspan.
Up high, Rupenstein. He turns it over the long stick of Wilson. Fields the ground ball. The Loyola, Maryland commit, Jake Wilson, picking that one up. Rupenstein handing it off to the newly entered Max McBride. McBride, the freshman for Darien, had a big goal against Fairfield Prep on Saturday. He's going up the lane. He shoots. Stopped by Tucker Williams.
It's a good take from McBride. You saw him in that prep game. What jumps out from him is what you just saw, his explosiveness as a Dodger.
Scrum for the ball on the ground. Big hit there. Flag is thrown. And just like that, Darien will get a man-up opportunity. A big hit there from Wolfram, just body checking. Number 20, Will Bonner.
It looked like he was trying to maybe go shoulder to shoulder, but he just went right into the numbers there. You saw him. If you can see the man's numbers in front of you, then you can't really put your body into him, and that's what he did. So he's going to get called here for, see if they get him for a push or for an illegal body check.
So Darien will go man up as Wolfram checks out. And now a golden opportunity for the Wave, especially taking out one of Brunswick's prolific scorers in Jackson Wolfram. Wave looking to convert. Bilodeau to Doriso. McGuckin getting the touch. Now Picorni. Thought about it, hands it off to Porter Barnett. Short little passes. They're going to look for the golden opportunity again.
They're looking to have this man carry up and have somebody step looking inside and see if they can cause Brunswick to make an error in their rotation.
Rupenstein. Off to Bilodeau. Brunswick defense holding strong so far. And a man up for Darien.
They're not a particularly aggressive man up there to start, at least. Again, there is no shot clock, as we've said, so there's no rush to get anything other than the look you really want. And we'll see if Darien tries to play a little slower-paced game and just control possession where they can.
Doriso, right back off to Bilodeau. Using the perimeter. Rupenstein, the shot, going top shelf, stopped by Tucker Williams. And now Williams in transition, the long stick of Hublitz. Brunswick on the offense, just past Warden.
And you see just how much Brunswick is pushing transition there. 2 poles, both Hublitz and Spies go to be part of that transition opportunity because they are both capable of handling the ball and scoring goals. For Darien, you wanted to see maybe Rippenstein change levels there. That shot, he got to a great spot on the field, worked to get to the middle, but kind of went high to high, and Williams is going to read those. You need to change levels. You need to try and deceive him or make him move to make saves.
So the penalty is worn off on Brunswick. The shot just wide from the stick of Leo Hoffman. Both teams back to even strength now, halfway through this opening quarter. Take another look at it. Leo Hoffman was looking to get himself on the scoring sheets. Just sent it wide.
And Darien's leaving Jake Wilson on an island there with him, which is a big vote of confidence for their Loyola-bound defenseman. Wilson is a great player. That'll be a fun one to watch.
Delgado thought about dodging to the cage. He'll retreat it back. Shoots that one. Stopped by Hagan. In the crease, just giving it to Carter Hagan. He makes his first stop. Looking to get the Darien offense going. Wilson, like a gazelle, he corrals it. Fights off Delgado. McGuckin now. They've got numbers. The shot. Just deflected last second. Possession staying with the Wave. But a good sequence for Darien. They were looking to get something. That was Briggs McGuckin, the shot, the Darien junior.
A really good trail check there from Mahalik to knock that shot off course. That's a great look at the net in transition there for Darien, something they've always done well.
Elliot Lancaster. Lancaster spins around. Darien offense going to regroup now. Trailing by 1 in the early goings. McBride trips up one defender. The shot just wide. Williams doesn't touch it. Darien keeps with the possession.
Just great speed here from McBride, running away from his man, even running through a slide. Might want to work for a little bit better shot than that. That's a tough angle, especially with your stick to the outside, but you like the aggressiveness from someone who's a freshman on the field for Darien in a game this big.
One of 5 freshmen on Jeff Braymeier's squad this season. He's looking to build for the future. You look at Ben Bilodeau, number 37, seeing a lot of time. He also is a freshman for this Darien team, so the future's looking bright here in Darien, Connecticut. Andrew Donovan on the good ride. Hands it off to the long stick of Mahalik, and he loses it out. On the restart. Spin move from number 7, Luke Caesar. Rupenstein.
See, they're trying to just get their personnel set to where they want them. You can hear Coach Braymeier barking out the set he wants. He's got a little 200 set here.
The shot from Rupenstein just high, and possession stays with the Wave, and big thanks to Porter Barnett.
So again, this is the 2-2-2. You have 2 players behind, 2 inside, and 2 up top. And you'll see pick action away from the ball in exchanges to try and confuse the Brunswick help defenders.
Rupenstein. The shot through some traffic. Losing the stick on it is Hublitz. Flag has been thrown, and the referees will now stop play with 2:52 to go. And Darien will now send a player to the box, giving Brunswick the man-up opportunity. Got a little aggressive there, and Darien catches the short end of it.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been close. From where we are, I don't know, down in the field or other vantage points, it might have been different, but it looked like pretty close to just going through the numbers. If there was helmet-to-helmet contact, then obviously the refs are going to throw a flag on that every time, but Brunswick to the man-up will be dangerous. Guys to watch here, you want to watch Anderson, you want to watch Delgado. They can both shoot the lights out. They'll be in the shooter spots. You already see them taking positions there on the left and right wings.
So Brunswick goes on the man-up. Delgado with the touch. Tomas throws it back to Wolfram. Mullen left open. Brunswick team already controlling a lead. Looking for the hole. Gets it right back to Hoffman. And that's a goal! Brunswick just fooling out Darien, and the Bruins get their second. Hagan just lost it, and the Bruins make them pay.
Yeah, the Darien man-down defense on the inside there on the pipes just looked like they got a little confused here. You see them moving the ball back and forth. When you're a man down, that backside man has to cheat towards the inside and protect the middle. And you see that they can just kind of fill that space if that help defender isn't there. And that's all that happened. Hagen didn't have much of a chance there on that one. But, the ball is going to move very, very quickly on the Brunswick man up. You need to have your defensive rotations moving just as fast to try and fill those spaces.
Teddy Danforth with the goal for Brunswick. That is his third on the season. He had 2 against Kent yesterday, and he's now got his third on the season. Whistle blown, holding, and that's going in favor of the Bruins. Brunswick with the restart now. So far, a similar start to Darien that they had in that Fairfield prep game. They were not able to crack the Jesuits in the first 12 minutes when it went down by the same score of 2-0 after the first 12. A Darien offense that is a little slow to get going, but once they get going, they're a lethal team. Jake Wilson in transition. The turnover. Wilson, the long stick, fighting through some contact. He'll be knocked down. Flags have been thrown. Hoffman in disbelief, but Darien will get the man up. You take another look at it, the double team of Hoffman and Plath. And the referee saw it. It was a little too much.
I think they might be getting a cross-check there. You saw the hands just kind of come apart, and then the extending of the arms is really what does it there. So I would imagine they're going to get him with a cross-check. I mean, credit to Wilson there, too, for trying to make a play in transition, trying to get this offense sparked, get Darien on the board. You want to get that 0 off of there, so I think he was trying to take it, maybe looking to call his own number there and create something, but drawing the foul, you want to see now, okay, Darien, what's your man up going to look like? How are you going to attack this man down defense?
So Darien back on the man up. They were unable to convert on their first opportunity.
Starting in a circle, you'll see somebody wall off a help defender inside.
He's got to get a stick. Good, Darien.
McGuckin throwing it right back, now at X.
Similar look here. They're
Picorni rifling it just high.
So Darien is in what you would call an open set, everybody on the outside, and they're trying to wall off the help defender and free space for Picorni to get a shot there.
Brady Picorni, the Notre Dame-bound junior. Barnett thought about going to the cage. Stays with the ball. Hands it right back off to number 8, Briggs McGuckin. Bilodeau, he scores! Ben Bilodeau, the freshman, puts Darien on the board, and his first career varsity goal can't come at any bigger of a time. Darien cutting the deficit down.
Yeah, you saw the starts with Picorni on that wing, getting to his strong hand to his left hand. That help is cheating towards him, and that's a great just dump down low to where the help came from. Bilodeau with a great move to just kind of face dodge, get underneath, take one little step upfield, and get a little bit of angle to put that around Williams.
Ben Bilodeau, the freshman, getting his first career varsity points. And Darien's now on the board. It might just be a goal, but that might be what Darien's looking for to spark the offense. Silsby and Greenspan back to the face-off X. All three won by Greenspan and the Bruins. In the open space, rolling towards the restraining line, Delgado corrals it. And Brunswick has their 4th consecutive face-off win.
And they're all pretty clean, too, which is something where I think you saw a Wilson kind of work to get in there and try and get to that ground ball because Greenspan has been winning them to himself. So if Wilson can get there and tie up Greenspan on his exit and try and be part of him, make him win it to the wings, then that could try and help Darien's chances.
And that's the big thing, Dan. Darien graduating the likes of Ty Comiskey, needing to adjust to Silsby and Barbagallo, and they so far haven't been able to do so against this Bruins team. Delgado goes low, stopped by Hagen. Carter Hagen, the Hail Mary pass. Does he have a receiver? And to the other goalie, Williams. The hot potato continues until that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Brunswick 2, Darien 1. After the first 12 minutes, don't go anywhere. We still have a lot of lacrosse left on the DAF Media Network. Back on the DAF Media Network, Brunswick controlling the 2-1 advantage over the Darien Blue Wave. But again, a lot of lacrosse left to be played on this Thursday night. And Darien quickly making the change, bringing Leo Barbagallo out for the face-offs. And so far, Darien has not had an answer to Andrew Greenspan and the Bruins.
We'll see if he can have better luck. You also see Darien now double polling. You see both Wilson and I think that's Eli there on the other wing. And they'll be trying to just race in there. And again, see if Greenspan wants to win it to himself, you need to try and make him uncomfortable when he does.
Long stick of Wilson tries to get it, but it's Greenspan once again coming away with the face-off win. Brunswick has won all 5 from the face-off X. Teams have switched sides in this second quarter. Brunswick moving from left to right on your screen, and they're visiting black jerseys. And Darien in their home whites moving from right to left. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank and Dan Arestia with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. DAF, of course, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity boys lacrosse match between the Darien Blue Wave and the Brunswick Bruins.
And here's what we talked about at the top a little bit now with Brunswick's versatility. Here they are coming out of an invert for the first time tonight. They're going to bring their midfielders behind the goal and attack Darien short sticks from behind the goal.
Shot stopped by Hagan. He spins around and he finds it. Carter Hagan's got another save. The junior committed to Loyola, Maryland. So far keeping Darien in this game.
He has been outstanding so far. He's made quite a few saves that were not easy.
There's a reason that he made 21 against the Fairfield Prep Jesuits in the opener. McGuckin from the point, he scores! Briggs McGuckin from long distance gets the equalizer, and Darien is coming back.
And that's something you kind of want to see Darien try and do a little more of early in this game now. Try and push this transition. They have numbers here. They're just attacking the middle of the field. McGuckin says, nobody's stepping up to me. I'm going to let it go. He might not be the top weapon on the scouting report, but he's still a guy who can shoot. So, Brunswick there in transition. Darien clears the ball well. Finds that Brunswick's defense is not ready to guard everybody that they have. McGuckin steps in, doesn't get guarded, lets it go.
Briggs McGuckin, his second goal on the season. He had one against Fairfield Prep, and just like that, it's a brand new ball game with 10:36 left to play in the second quarter. And Darien's hoping for the new game here at the Face-Off X. So far dominated by Greenspan and the Bruins. And there's the 6th.
Goal, number 8.
And you see there a bit of an adjustment from Greenspan, as I was talking about. The double polling is to make him uncomfortable. Greenspan just quick clamp and pops it out directly to his wing, understanding and setting them up where he wants them so that he can do that.
There's a reason the 4-star recruit is heading off to Notre Dame to play for the Fighting Irish, and that's because he's one talented Fogo. Burschel. Got the defensive likes of Mac McGarren on him. McGarren committed to Bucknell for Darien, the long stick defender. The shot just high off the stick of Patrick Mullen. Mullen, the also Bucknell Bison commits. Taking that shot for the Bruins. Wolfram going straight to the cage, jumping up, stopped by Hagan. Crease violation called on it. The refs let him play on. Wolfram went sprinting to that cage.
That would have been something had he put that in, but
well, might have been coming back, stepping in the crease.
You see, so well, I think they called it because he landed in there. I don't think he took off in there, but yeah, they wanted to play on, and we're going the other way. But you see, just the athleticism on display in this game that's the kind of stuff you can see. And Darien has numbers here if they want it.
Picorni just past his stick. Doriso's going to track it down, keep possession. And actually it goes to Brunswick. Doriso tried to keep it in.
Yeah, there was a little bit of an unsettled there. If Caesar could have just made that one more transfer pass, Brunswick defense was unsettled. There was an opportunity to be had, and Darien's always looking for those.
And Darien gets the good end of the whistle right there. A much different story in this game than when they played last year. Again, the Bruins went up 7-0 in the first quarter last year. We're up 8-1 at halftime before eventually taking that meeting against Darien by the final of 12-10. So the Waves starting a little bit better in this game, tied up at 2. But again, it's a marathon, and they've just run the sprint portion. McGuckin being met with Delgado. He'll go to the far side. Picorni, he's going to the cage, shooting, rolling. Doriso can't grab it, and eventually the long stick of Hublitz grabs it. Picorni was looking for the flashy goal.
Yeah, he was looking to get underneath on that dive play as well. There was a little bit of angle there, a little bit of daylight, and he chased it. But I think he just wasn't able to get that shot off as comfortably as obviously he would have liked.
Flag thrown. Potential illegal substitution on Darien. Wilson was trying something funny inside the box.
I think we're going to see Darien called for offsides here. Counting up, and it looks like they had one too many.
So Wilson, again, he had some movement on that sideline. Looked like he was trying to enter the field around the 40-yard line or so. Brunswick sideline was yelling for the officials, and eventually one of them threw the flag, giving Brunswick their second look on the man up. Again, they scored on their first man up opportunity, and this is the team, to your point, Dan, that is lethal on man ups.
Yeah, we'll see if Brunswick comes out with the same kind of look. Before they had the two men behind the net, moving the ball, trying to get that Darien defense to kind of commit to one side of the field or the other, and see if they could open up some space inside. See if they do something similar here with Hoffman carrying behind the goal.
Restart, Delgado to Hoffman, now to Wolfram at X. Wolfram going to the cage, stopped by Hagen. Carter Hagen making the big stop, and now Darien looking to go on the offense. First, they got to get the clear. Hendrickson, the long stick. Downfield into no man's lands. Coming away with it is number 7, Luke Caesar.
That's a great play there by Caesar, and a good decision by Porter Barnett. He could have forced that through to try and get it to Picorni. There was a little lane there, but with the penalty to kill, you want to make sure you just keep this possession, kill the penalty, take care of the ball here.
Rubenstein getting the play from his bench.
And Darien back to this 2-2-2. You'll see the two men inside try and wall off the help defender for their Dodgers down the alleys.
And that was a good kill for Darien. Man down, a big save from Hagen. Now the Wave looks to make some offense. Rubenstein. Good screen from McBride. Looking to dodge it to the cage.
You see the pressure that comes from these Brunswick poles. They all have such great lateral quickness and athleticism. They're always in your hands.
Corney trying his signature move behind the back. Just wide on it. Possession staying with the Wave.
Looked like something from the Joey Spallina playbook there. Back to the net. No look. You had John Grant. All kinds of people doing that kind of thing. Picorni has hit it before.
Wouldn't be the craziest shot that Brady hit in his career. Doriso now, just high. Dylan Doriso, the senior, was looking for a goal. Just shoots it high, 50 on 50. Restart for Brady Picorni and the Wave. Good cut to Barnett. Barnett tripped up. And timeout will be taken by Jeff Braymeyer and the Darien Blue Wave. So head coach B calls the timeout, keeps possession with the Wave. And with 6:42 left, Darien's looking to get some more offense. Dan, what has Brunswick changed from the first quarter to the second, if any?
I don't think they need to change too much. I think they're getting looks that they like. I think they're getting quality shots on the net. And I think Carter Hagen is saving them. So you just want to keep at it. If you're playing a hot goalie, you just got to keep shooting. You can't score if you don't put it on the net, regardless of who the goalie is in there. So I think Brunswick, where they're at, is good. Maybe try a little more out of the invert. We haven't seen or called Peyton Anderson's name too many times. He's had one good go with the net, but try and get him involved a little more late, as a physical and just change of pace kind of player from Hoffman or other explosive, more kind of quick players. And, for Darien, you want to see them handle the Brunswick pressure, at the level they're handling it now. I think we've seen Hublitz in particular get out there and really bother Barnett and some of the other attackmen. You want to make sure that they can handle that. You want to see them move decisively and quickly. If you have a defender on you and he's in your hands, you can't shake him. The idea is, all right, you just got to move faster. Defensemen can't throw all the checks they want to throw if they're running at full speed. You got to make them move with you. So you want to see them kind of, again, more electricity, more footwork, pick the pace up just a little bit on the offensive end.
Big change for Darien. Carter Hagen making some saves out of late. He's kept the Bruins off the scoreboard in this second quarter. But again, only halfway through. We're knotted up at 2 apiece with 6:42 left in the second quarter. Porter Barnett will restart it for the Wave after the timeout from Darien, using one of their 2. Good cut. Rubenstein, he scores! Morgan Rupenstein converting, and Darien's got their first lead of the night.
And this is what Darien's kind of been looking for all night. They're doing it out of different sets, whether it's that 2-2-2 or here out of a 1-4-1, but here you have a man step off. There's a pick on the inside, kind of just out of the frame there, where the inside man gets to run off of it, and he's freed up. You see it there. Comes to the far side. It's just a redirect low. You see him changing levels so that Williams can't get a good read on it. And that's a nice, well-designed and well-drawn-up play from Coach Braymeyer out of a timeout.
Brady Picorni, the pass to Rupenstein, and the Darien Jr. has his third goal on the season and Darien's third of the night for their first lead against the Brunswick Bruins. Barbagallo, still a scrum for it, and Delgado comes away with it. Looking for Mahalik, past his long stick. On the ground, Hagan fields the ground ball. Hail Mary to Mac McGarren. McGarren, Darien has numbers. The long stick, winds up, shoots it. Belted it and scores. Mac McGarren, the senior long stick, adding another for the Wave. And this Darien side is erupting. Mac McGarren with the goal.
There is nothing more like a juice goal from a long pole in transition. That pass from Carter Hagan, I don't even know if he knew where that thing was going. But off the faceoff, it just kind of bounced his way to him. He had a player in his face, heaved it up. McGarren ran underneath it, and then running the fast break. Those those Brunswick defensemen hesitant to leave the attack. They want to say, hey, the most dangerous guy out here right now is these three attackmen. Let the pole shoot it, and he put it home.
Give the assist to the goalie, Carter Hagan. The goal to the long stick, Mac McGarren. And that's how Darien has their fourth goal. And this Wave team has now scored 4 unanswered. A clean face-off win for Greenspan. He's going straight to the cage, down low. Wolfram just goes low and out of play. Looking to finesse the goalie, Carter Hagan. But just a clean face-off win for Andrew Greenspan and the Bruins.
Yeah, that's like more of a quick redirect there from Wolfram. Again, if Hagan is seeing it right now, he's getting a stick to it. He's really seeing the ball well. So doing that kind of just makes him react in a different way. He doesn't maybe get his eyes on the ball or is able to pick it up. So I know it may have looked kind of like a fancy finish, but it really is tactically not that bad a move right there.
Would have been good if Wolfram finished on it. Instead, the Bruins set up the offense late in this second quarter. Up high, grabbed by Wolfram at X. Now Hoffman spinning, being double-teamed, knocked down, and Darien creates the turnover, just handing it off to Carter Hagan, looking to command the offense.
That is a great slide there that came from, I believe that was from Bonner, but that help defense there was picture perfect.
Lancaster bounces it and he scores! Elliot Lancaster bounces it over the 5'11 Williams, and Darien's got their 5th consecutive.
And it's a transition goal again. Darien's trying to find these times where they have some numbers. Coach Braymeyer has always loved that element, even if the numbers are even. If it's transition, if it's not 6-on-6, he wants his guys to attack. They practice it all year. It's why they're so good at it. It's why transition against Darien is a dangerous proposition for anyone, and there's yet another goal out of it.
Tucker Williams went down on one knee. He was looking to stop that on the ground. Instead, it bounced before him and over Williams into the cage for the goal for Elliot Lancaster. He had the big winner against Brunswick, and just like that, Darien controls the 5-2 lead with 5:13 left in the second quarter. Timeout to David Bruce and the Bruins. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network, and we'll be right back.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org.
We're back on the DAF Media Network, and back to the face-off X. Violation against Silsby and the Wave. And the Bruins will get their 8th face-off win
And that's going to remain something to watch here for Brunswick and especially for Darien as this goes on. Darien's won one clamp really clean, and then the Brunswick wings cleaned it up. So they really haven't controlled a face-off yet tonight. And this is a Brunswick offense that can pile up goals, that is loaded with talent. So the tilting of possession over time could really wear down the Darien defense.
Brunswick, they've outscored opponents 61-25 this season. An offense that can explode at any moment. They've been kept off the scoreboard in the last 8 minutes or so. Looking to change that. The shot, and it's a goal. Right on cue, Max Warden picks one up for the Bruins. And Warden breaks the scoring drought.
Yeah, Brunswick wins in the sub game here. You see a sub coming from inside where they try and pick the player that's trying to sub with Brunswick. And as a result, the Brunswick player gets to release from the midfield line first. And you have it's like a little mini fast break. It's an unsettled situation. Darien has to try and rotate, and Warden is left with open space. He's able to step around a short stick and put it home.
Max Warden, his second goal of the night. The three-star recruit off to Brown to play for the Bruins. And just like that, Warden gets it back to a 2-goal Darien lead. Warden's had 2 of Brunswick's 3 goals tonight. And out of the face-off X, Greenspan has been untouched thus far. Barbagallo looking to change it, and Greenspan comes away with it. On the far side, Greenspan into the attacking third. He shoots. Stopped by Carter Hagan.
And it's a good save there from Hagan on that low shot, and you can see how quickly he's up with that ball, trying to get that transition going. The Darien players are breaking as soon as that shot gets taken. They want to try and run.
Slowing it down with it is number 8, Briggs McGuckin. McGuckin has a goal in this contest. Bilodeau. Just throwing it behind the net. Brady Picorni, he's been kept at bay so far. Picorni, spin move, and he scores! Brady Picorni finessing this Brunswick defense. And the Darien Junior has goal number 6 for the Wave.
Yeah, if you're Hunter's Beast on that one, I don't know what else you could really do. I mean, he's on Picorni's hips here. He's in his hands. He gets a push, gets a lift on that shot, and even falling away from the net, that is able to fool Tucker Williams, I think, a little bit. It beat him to the inside. I'm not sure he really saw it because of the way and the angle that Picorni shot that ball, but that's what makes Picorni such a special player.
Not 1, but 2 spin moves and a shot from Picorni is what it takes to beat Tucker Williams. And the soon-to-be Fighting Irish of Notre Dame has his 3rd goal on the season. Silsby looking to have an answer to Greenspan. Hold called against Darien and going right back to Brunswick. And there we go. They're going to flip the call.
I think we just pointed the wrong way there.
Darien will get their first face-off control. Oh, nope, and they flip it again.
Yep. They're trying to sort it out who's going where. Brunswick ball.
One official was pointing one way, the other pointing in the other. Nonetheless, the Bruins come away with the ball. Wolfram behind the net. A little over 3 minutes before halftime. No lead is safe when Brunswick has the ball. Bullet pass. Handing it off to Wolfram at X. Wolfram wraps around, bounces it just wide, grabbed by the long stick of Wilson. Jake Wilson, the alertness to jump up and grab the ball, giving it right back to Hagan.
Yeah, it was a nice trying little skip find there. Brunswick looking for some early offense. It might be time for them to just kind of settle back into their offense that they started in a little bit. We haven't heard from Hoffman in a little while. Let's try and get number 5 the ball a little bit and see if we can slow down Darien.
Dylan DeRiso with a nice move. He keeps with the possession. Bouncer to Rupenstein. Wind starting to pick up. Supposed to be rain in the forecast. Looks like it cleared up. Some nice warm temperatures out here. Much better than Darien's first game against Fairfield Prep when they played in essentially the downpour at Rafferty Stadium. Wave fought through, took down the Jesuits 9-8 en route to their first win of the season. Picorni to the cut, just overshooting his receiver. Rupenstein scores! Morgan Rupenstein the recovery, and that's his second.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be to pick up that ground ball. And then from there, he's playing it with a short stick on him, a short stick that's not ready to defend right away. Good move down the alley, spin back upfield, his hands are free, and from that distance, he's going to can it.
Morgan Rupenstein, his second of the night. You take another look at it, just going to that top right corner of Tucker Williams. Such a precise shot from Rupenstein. He hits it, and this is now his second consecutive multi-goal game for Darien. Team's leader with 4 on the season. And Darien now has a 4-goal lead with 2:20 to play before the half. A game in which Brunswick led 2-0 Darien on the 7-1 run in this last 10 minutes or so. Into the empty space, ground ball from Delgado. That's one place that has been lopsided.
And we'll see if Greenspan keeps going to that. The 2 Darien poles that are on the faceoff now are just taking straight drops to cut a fast break in case Greenspan wins it to himself. If he can park a wing player like a Delgado behind him on their D end, he can just keep popping it out to his wings and win faceoffs that way.
Garcia coming over to help. Delgado stays with it. Right back to Hoffman. Hoffman dodging to the cage. Throws it off. Wolfram loses it. Wilson coming over to apply the pressure. Wolfram the shot. And Hagen grabs it. Carter Hagen once again turning away the Bruins. And the blitz there just dumps it off. Brunswick now coming out firing. That was Hoffman on the big hit. Bilodeau's got some room. To McGuckin.
And you see Brunswick throwing some new ride looks and trying to make Hagen uncomfortable as part of the clear. Make him move, make him be agile outside of the net, and see if he can create a turnover that way. They almost got one there.
Picorni at X was looking for a cutter. He'll keep with it. Being guarded by the long stick of Spies. Picorni through some traffic, gets his own rebound. Shoots that one low, stop once again in front of the net. The goal's wide open and Doriso finishes. Dylan Doriso, the heads-up play, and the Darien senior adds another. Williams fell to the ground. The Darien pressure in front of the cage ensued for Doriso to finish.
Yeah, that's a really great save by Williams to stop the first one, to get down low and get a stick on that from close range. But the rebound just right in the right place at the right time for Doriso. And he's able to tiptoe the crease too, which is not easy there. He's absorbing contact. He's able to pick up the ball and put it home. So another big play here from Darien, and this run is unbelievable.
Dylan Doriso, the heads-up play. And just like that, Darien's got a 5-goal lead. Doriso, first year starting on Darien, only the second game he's started in his varsity career, and he's got 3 goals in his career. All this year, actually 3 goals this year, I should say. Had a couple towards the end of last year. Greenspan wins the faceoff, now goes to the offense. And timeout will be taken by David Bruce and the Bruins. Dan, what's the play for the Bruins with 38 seconds left?
I think you want to try and get Hoffman with the ball in space again. He'll probably be wound up, with Wilson guarding him. That's the matchup that's kind of been there all night. But you want to try and see some action away from the ball as well. I think you've seen Darien execute it very well, where they've had these sort of picks inside or trying to identify who the help defender is. Who's that guy who's going to help when the Dodger beats his man and make his life difficult. Make it hard for him to get there or confuse who that guy should be. You want to see Brunswick try and get to a little more of that action, whether it's inside, wherever their slide package wants to be coming from. You want to try and, confuse Darien's slides here if you can a little bit. Whether it's picking the help defender, exchanging away from the ball, changing places with another player, anything to make that defense worried about what's happening outside of Leo Hoffman dodging. Because when that help comes, there's going to be an opening. He can find it, but you need to make that help uncomfortable.
The Brunswick senior, he's got 5 goals on the season. He has been kept at bay all night tonight. And for Brunswick, it's really been the offensive likes of Warden scoring 2 out of their 3 goals, and the other coming from Danfo. So Brunswick, their offense really hasn't come to play in this second quarter. Just 1 goal in these 12 minutes, looking to finish and get 1 more before the halftime break. And that's why David Bruce is taking his final time out of this first half. Draw up the play with 38 seconds left.
Right, and the Darien defense deserves a lot of credit here, as does obviously Carter Hagen. Carter Hagen might be the player of the game so far. The saves he's making are keeping the scoreline where it's at. But here you see it looks like Anderson starting it Hoffman over there on a wing with him. We'll see if they try and, flip matchups with some picks here or anything to try and make this defense a little more uncomfortable.
Brunswick off the whistle, 30 seconds to work. Wolfram. Anderson. Now Hoffman going to the cage. Back to a wide open Wolfram. Delgado cutting. Bouncing up high, stopped by Hagen. Clock stops with 12.7. Brunswick will get one more look on the offense.
And that's a look that I think that they wanted. I think, Delgado got where he wanted to get. He ran off a pick there to get free inside.
Hoffman, stopped by Hagen. Carter Hagen, does he have some heroics downfield? Doriso can't get there, nor can Barnett, but that takes us to halftime. Darien, the shocker, leading Brunswick by the score of 8-3. Dan, what went well for Darien in that first half?
Carter Hagen went very well for Darien in that half. He was saving just about everything. You look at the score line. This goes out to all the people out there who are saying we should ban the face-off because it's too important. I don't think Darien's won one yet, and they're up 8-3. So the face-off in this game, Darien has neutralized it with their goalie and with really, really solid help defense and off-ball defensive play. So I think, for Brunswick, you want to see them get back to, let's get back to basics. Let's try and free up our guys. Let's lean on some of our star players. And let's see if we can try and take this possession advantage we have and turn it into some goals.
Darien, 8 goals. Brunswick only 3, 2 of which came in the first quarter. Once again, Darien plays the stellar second quarter, and they lead by 5 heading into the halftime huddle. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network, and we return the second half between the Bruins and the Wave on the DAF Media Network. The school year is winding down and the temperatures are getting warmer outside. It's time for the 2023 high school spring sports season. Hi everybody, I'm Braden Shank and welcome to this DAF Media special as we preview the spring sports season. The Blue Wave boys lacrosse team faces a gauntlet of opponents. With new division realignments, Darien's schedule features matchups with 8 out-of-conference teams and 5 nationally ranked opponents. Head coach Jeff Braymeyer enters his 40th season, and the players hope to make it a memorable one.
Definitely got a younger team than past years, but we also got some valuable leadership coming back. Had a lot of the young guys step up this far through our preseason and the scrimmages.
We have a really tough schedule this year, hardest ever been really. We have a great group of guys, great group of leaders. Offense has been showing some tremendous effort in the past few weeks.
For this season, our expectations are always the same, 10 in the pile at June. We have a tough slate this year, so we're trying to get as many good national rank wins as possible.
Darien Lacrosse is a program that's very sought after on the lacrosse community, and expectations are no different this year. We might have lost a lot of our key contributors last year, but that hasn't stopped a lot of people from stepping up and really showing us what they got.
After losing to New Canaan last year in the FCAC final and state final, the Darien girls lacrosse team is on a mission. Returning 5 All-FCAC first-teamers, as well as the 2022 FCAC Coach of the Year, Lisa Lindley, the Wave have the pieces for another deep postseason run. Darien's schedule includes games against 3 of the top 5 teams in the country.
We have a really talented group this year. We've all been playing with each other for quite a while. Good amount of seniors, juniors, the sophomores are super talented, and the freshmen. We have a really tough schedule this year, which will be so exciting to play. We're excited for the competition.
I think last year we had a really good regular season, going undefeated, and we fell short in postseason. So I think that's our main goal that's driving all of our talent this year.
Going into the season, I think the whole team is super excited. I mean, with the high rankings this year, there's definitely a lot of competition, and we have a target on our backs, and I think that we're all excited to step up to the challenge and see what we can do.
It's now time to shift our attention to the Diamonds with DAF Media's Cam McGraw with more on the Blue Wave baseball and softball programs.
Thanks, Braden. The Darien baseball team in a bit of a different spot this year, coming off one of the worst seasons in program history, with a 4-16 record going 0-9 on the road. But The team's still very confident in their skills. Alongside Coach Mike Scott, they think they could greatly improve their record this season.
Some great plate appearances and a couple things to clean up in the field and on the mound, but we're feeling optimistic and we're excited for a great season.
This year I'm expecting pretty big things. We're looking really good in the scrimmages and I'm excited. We have a really close-knit group and I'm looking to see a lot of the younger kids step up this year.
We got a good staff and a lot of guys that are going to put some really good at-bats up for the team and a lot of speed and athleticism all over the field.
As for the softball team, Coach Nick DeMeo has the team ready to improve their record of 9-12, the worst it's been since 2019. The team maintains a lot of talent that they had last year with the junior, now senior class, and plans to have a more experienced lineup heading into next year.
I think that we're going to be looking good this season, maybe doing a little bit better than last season, and the talent on the team looks pretty good. Everyone's working together, and yeah, we've really come along as a team.
Our team's pretty young this year, but we've made a lot of progress since last season, and I'm super excited to see what's going to happen.
That's it from the Diamond. Back to you.
Thanks, Cam. Out on the DHS tennis courts, the Darien boys and girls tennis teams are getting ready for their seasons. Three-time defending state champion boys tennis team moves up in class this season. Darien will compete for a Class LL state title in 2023. Second-year head coach John DeFilippo has a roster with 3 college commits, and the boys are ready for the new challenge.
We're looking to, repeat that state championship, possibly win that FCAC title. In my opinion, I think we're the best team. We have a lot of good leaders, good young talent. I don't know. Definitely looking forward to this year.
Our expectations this year is we're hoping to win a state championship and probably the FCAC championship too. It's going to be tough, but we'll see. I think we can get it done.
The girls team also won a state crown a year ago. This season, the program looks to continue on their recent success as they return many players from a season ago.
Some expectations for the season. We have a record high amount of girls this year. We have 19 players, which is going to be great because we'll have a lot of alternates.
I'm super excited for the season this year. We're coming back from a big win last year as FCAC and state champs. So I think we're going to have a great season.
Inside the DHS main gym, the Darien boys volleyball team is hard at work. Longtime head coach Lori LaRusso has built Darien into the state's premier program. Darien is the 3-time defending FCAC champs and has not lost a match since the spring of 2019.
The past 2 years we've won FCAC championships and state championships, so we're looking to do that again, and the expectations are high. We need to work hard in practice, and because none of this is going to be given to us, so we're going to have to work hard. And
We definitely have high expectations, trying to go undefeated and win state and FCX again this year, but at the same time we have to stay humble and grounded.
It's always a business trip for us. We treat every game the same, treat it like a business trip. It is what it is, but expectations are definitely high.
The Darien rugby program hits the pitch again this spring. With a full match schedule on the docket for the spring, Darien will once again take on some of its biggest rivals at the Royal Elementary School.
Looking forward to a great year this 2023 season. Got a lot of freshmen, younger kids still coming out, got some older kids coming, so we're just looking for growth in the program.
It's basically a new team every year. We've got guys leaving and a lot of new guys joining, so I'm excited to see what we can do this year. Looking forward to, we got a lot more games lined up this year than we did last year, so more opportunity to get out in the field and have fun.
After a successful 2022 season, Darien's girls rugby team will suit up for action in 2023. Head coach Mark Stepsis will lead the girls into the season as they continue to grow the program's legacy. The Darien boys and girls track and field teams return to action this spring. The girls finished 11th last year at the state meet, while the boys finished 7th. And both teams have some talented athletes competing this spring. Darien girls golf team will hit the links once again this spring. They'll look to swing their way into the state championships in early June. Also, the Blue Wave sailing program will once again hit the water, competing in the Fairfield County Sailing League. That will do it for this DAF Media special. I've been Braden Shank, and we thank you for watching. 8-3 our score halfway through this one. Brunswick got off to the early start. Max Warden, Danforth, the 2 goals for the Bruins before the Darien Blue Wave turned it on. Scored the next 6 unanswered, and then they went on the 7-1 scoring run, actually 8-1 scoring run to go up 8-3 on the Brunswick Bruins. Braden Schenk, Dan Rescue with you. So glad you can be with us. Dan, what did you see in that first half?
Well, you saw a big face-off edge for Brunswick that they weren't able to capitalize on. That's really a big story for them right now, is that Carter Hagan has been spectacular. The Darien defense has been great. And then in that second quarter, Darien offense was able to, create a lot of the looks they wanted with some sort of off-ball action, whether it be picks inside or exchanging or using picks to free up Picorni. But a lot better team offense, I thought you saw in the second quarter from Darien than from Brunswick.
Back to the face-off X, which has been dominated by Brunswick so far tonight. Greenspan. And won once again by Greenspan and the Bruins.
It's something Darien's going to have to address. You can't play with fire this long with just giving Brunswick extra possession after extra possession, courtesy of a completely one-sided face-off battle. They're going to need to try and find another player, somebody else in the roster, something else they can do with wings to make Greenspan's life harder.
Delgado looking to go to the cage, losing it. Fielded by Rupenstein. Hagan can't track that down. And possession going to the Wave. Brunswick is going to need to turn. Actually, it's going to Brunswick. Needing to restart it. Wolfram. Anderson. Nice stick work at X. Wolfram's got the room to Delgado wide open. He's got a lane. Wolfram. Right back to Leo Hoffman. Darien pushing away the Brunswick attack. Again, no shot clock in tonight's contest, so Brunswick can take as long as they want. Hoffman, he scores! Leo Hoffman gets on the board, and Brunswick comes out firing in the second half. Hoffman gets his first points on the night.
And that's really where Hoffman's at his best, when he gets to start his dodge up there by the 40-yard line on the football field. He just gets to explode to his strong hand, and it doesn't take much for him to free his hands. He separates so quickly because he's so fast, he's so agile, he explodes out of those changes of direction, and he's such a good shooter. It's tough to try and find ways to guard him. I know Darien has tried to trust Wilson on an island with him a little bit tonight. He's the one guy out there right now who has earned, I think, to me, the slide coming, that quick help coming.
Hoffman had 2 against Darien a year ago. He's got his first this year, the soon-to-be UPenn Quaker. And just like that, the Bruins now cutting it down to a 4-goal deficit. Ground ball fielded from Mahalik, and the Bruins up in the air, grabbed eventually by Darien's long stick. Risky pass finds its way to Hagan.
Dangerous play there. But Darien keeps coming up with these ground balls, these 50-50 balls in the middle of the field. You saw it on their last defensive possession. They had a great opportunity for a ground ball that they couldn't turn into a clear. But the team ground balls are going the way of the white jerseys right now.
Darien, they're in their home whites tonight. Brunswick and the visiting blacks. The Wave moving from left to right in this quarter. Brunswick from right to left. Making a move. Picorni. And a goal! Briggs McGuckin finishing. And Darien gets it right back. Briggs McGuckin finishing. There's the Selly. And the Darien Juniors got his second of the night.
And there's kind of mirroring picks happening here. You'll see a pick on ball here for Picorni to get to his left. Inside, there's a pick happening from Barnett there too to free McGuckin. You'll see Porter Barnett inside set a pick. And McGuckin's able to find the space off of it. So again, these pairs of picks, this mirroring action is really, really giving the Brunswick defense fits on the inside.
Number 8.
Briggs McGuckin, the goal, his second. And a big goal for Darien. They continue to keep their comfortable lead. Violation and ball going to Brunswick. Tomas Delgado to control. Wolfram. Now to Anderson. Anderson is another Brunswick player kept at bay tonight. The Brunswick junior with 6 goals on the season. Nothing tonight.
Yeah, they say sometimes the mark of a great defenseman is you don't say their name very often, and that's McNamara down there, I believe, right? Who's guarding him? I think so, doing a good job.
McNamara, the big number 26 for Darien, a sophomore on this Blue Wave team, again contributing the underclassmen talent. 12 of them on this Darien team, 5 freshmen, 7 sophomores. Looking to stay with his attacker, Anderson. Spins around, shoots it just wide.
And I think with that matchup, Darien's trying to match physicality with physicality. They'll see if McNamara's footwork is up to staying with Anderson.
Wolfram. Using the screen of Warden. And out pass just airing past the receiver. Brunswick will recover, however. Peyton Anderson. Now Hoffman. He scored the last one for the Bruins. Leo Hoffman dodging to the cage. Back to X. Wolfram out in front now. Warden. Delgado. Once again pushed away by the Darien defense.
You see good help defense there from Darien. Sending that slide to Delgado, and that next man is ready to pick up where the first man came from.
Anderson, the cut, and Hagan finally grabs it. That's been the big change for Darien. They gave up that miscommunication goal on the second goal, man down, and ever since then, this Darien team is playing like a cohesive unit out there, not giving up anything to Brunswick. Losing a stick is Jake Wilson. Ball going to the Bruins.
And this has been an adjustment from Brunswick. They're stepping into kind of a 10-man look on the ride. They're trying to make Darien clear it by just sort of defending the midfield line with 6 players and having their goalie, Tucker Williams, kind of step out and shade towards an attackman to take away the long ball. So Darien is going to have to be ready for that. They have a ride of like that of their own. They practice against it, but it's different seeing it in game action.
Behind the net. There's Wolfram once again. Bonner pushing him away. Anderson. Now to Delgado. 3-year varsity standout Tomas Delgado. Showing off the moves. And once again, he can't find anything.
That's some excellent defense there from...
the shot and a goal. Brunswick gets one right back. Rick Garadino.
Call that a jinx for me, I guess. The defense on Delgado was excellent, staying with him and staying in his hands, but he was able to kind of step away there and throw a feed across to win a short stick matchup.
And Brunswick gets one back right there. The freshman coming up big for the Bruins. And the Darien defense, you knew they were going to be beat at some point. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah, they weren't keeping Brunswick at 3 all night,
Brunswick
that's for sure.
goal,
You say it there, it's a freshman.
Rick
We're calling out freshmen and
Giordano.
sophomores for both of these teams. It's really special to think about the fact that, these are top teams in the country, and we have freshmen on the field.
Rick Giordano scoring for Brunswick, the #1 team in the country.
Yeah.
4-0 on the season, thrown up in the air. Silsby can't get it. Monkey in the middle, ball going to the Bruins. Now on the rush. That's Donovan. Stopped by Hagan.
And it's a good idea from Donovan because he was running in transition. Nobody stopped him. If nobody stops you, you go to the goal, but you got to change levels to beat Hagan. He's playing too well.
Players going flying all over the place. Restart will go to the Bruins. Big hit there, staying with it is Donovan. Flag has eventually been thrown, so Brunswick will get the free possession. Warden loses it, grabs it right back. Hagan getting his set in the post. Garcia, the freshman. Brunswick, a team with 6 freshmen on their roster for 16th year head coach David Bruce.
And they need to find somebody to guard Anderson here. There's a little miscommunication trying to get matchups there.
Anderson. He scores! The wraparound is good, and Peyton Anderson finds himself on the scoreboard. A big goal for the Bruins, and Peyton Anderson converting for Brunswick.
Yeah, McNamara steps out to guard him, and that's the matchup that they've wanted. The big body on the big body, but he's going to commit a cardinal sin here. He's going to go over Anderson's head right at goal line and sort of invite Anderson up to the top side right there. And once he gets that angle,
Brunswick
that's him
goal.
one-on-one with Carter Hagan
19,
inside, and that's going to go Brunswick's way.
Peyton Anderson.
Peyton Anderson, the Brunswick junior, has his 7th goal on the season, 11th point, and he has just been a dynamic player for this Brunswick team. And the penalty will be assessed on Elliott Lancaster, 1-minute penalty. So Brunswick will start man up for the next minutes. Cross check is what gets Lancaster.
So Darien is going to be man down on the face-off here, which probably really shouldn't change the outcome too much anyway. We'll see. Greenspan hasn't exactly lost any yet, but we'll see what kind of drops they take, if they just bother to have one of their specialists take this draw or not.
So Brunswick has the advantage in the face-off portion. That one going all the way out to the restraining line. Delgado corrals it with one hand. Picorni plays it. Again, Brunswick playing man up for the next minutes. A delayed penalty got Darien's Elliott Lancaster. And Wave now looking to kill the next minutes.
And that's a good outcome there for Darien off the face-off. Greenspan popped it to the wing and Delgado got it, but he got it at an angle that left him right next to the attackman, who were able to step out and sort of cut his angle.
McBride going to the cage. Sandwich between two Bruins. And that possession going to Brunswick.
And I think, McBride, a freshman there, I think you want to see maybe the decision to pull that ball out. I know they're kind of feeling like they need a goal, and Brunswick has a little run going right now, but you need to be able to kind of kill this penalty, take care of the ball.
Especially when Darien is without one of their big defenders, Elliott Lancaster. He's got about 10 seconds left on the penalty. Brunswick's got one last chance on the man up. Mullen over to Delgado. Now Wolfram touching it. Lancaster has been freed. Both teams back to even strength. Anderson from point. He scores! Peyton Anderson back-to-back goals. Brunswick's got some late life in them.
And this can kind of happen sometimes when you go from man-down defense and trying to get back to even strength defense. That sixth man comes in and finds a matchup, and the other 5 guys are still kind of playing a zone. And with Anderson on one side and Delgado on the other, we said it on Brunswick first man up, both of them can absolutely rip it. And Anderson had enough angle and enough space, get that shot off and bury it.
Brunswick, a team that averages 15 goals a game. Anderson looking to bring him to that average as he's got their 7th on the night. A big one for the Bruins. They get it back down to a 2-goal lead in favor of Darien still. A game that the Wave led by 5 at half. Watching as that lead is slowly ticking away. Only 1 goal in this third quarter. A very similar narrative to Darien's game against Fairfield Prep. The slow start in the first half, no points. The second quarter, all Darien. In the third quarter, they slow down again. Greenspan thought about it. He wins another face-off, though.
And now you have to watch Greenspan a little bit because he stays out there, and he's going to look to try and catch them in the sub game. You can see him making his way slowly inside. They're going to try and pick the player that's subbing with him or just hold him up and see if they can create an opportunity at the midfield or just leave a player on out there who's not comfortable playing D.
We just saw it. Brunswick leading 18-0 on the face-off wins. That's our graphics coordinator, Cooper Kelly, doing a great job back in the truck.
There he goes. Anderson with a head start because Greenspan won in the sub game.
Hoffman bouncing that one just high. And he has got such a good shot from the points. That time just bouncing it past Hagan. Hoffman looking for someone. Over to Anderson.
See Darien almost showing a little zone type look here. Try a little change of pace, see if they can stifle the run here a little bit, throw Brunswick off.
Nice spin dodge from Wolfram. Hoffman, stopped by Hagan. Ball's loose. McNamara corrals it.
It's a great stop. It's a great dodge from Hoffman, the face dodge on a rotating defender to get inside, and there's some softness in the middle of that zone. He finds it, but Hagan robbed him. And then unfortunate turnover here for Darien, who really needed a possession.
Bruins on the restart. Mahalik. Pass. McGuckin thought about it. Instead, he'll let it go to Spies. Bruins setting right back up on offense, trailing by 2 with 3 minutes to play in this third quarter under the lights of the Darien High School Stadium Fields. First time in a while that Varsity boys lacrosse playing under the lights here in Darien. It's definitely got that atmosphere of a Friday night football game. Delgado stopped by Hagen.
Darien back into this zone kind of look, and you see Delgado letting it rip from there, and he can score from there. But some of this right now is just a trust in Hagen to make some saves because he's been so good.
Wolfram. Spin move going low, and he scores! Jackson Wolfram breaks through, and Brunswick gets it back to a one-possession game. The Brunswick senior with the goal, and Jeff Braymeyer will take his first time out in this half. And Brunswick coming out of the gate firing in this second half. They're on a 5-1 run.
And you see it there. Wolfram is at the low point in that zone on that low wing. That's where Darien has their shorties. And Wolfram is an attackman. He's going to win a matchup with a shorty. So he just starts down low towards goal line, rolls back upfield, and without a pole on his hands, he's able to just step away from his defender and get a good clean shot off. The bouncer there got over Hagen's shoulder, and now Brunswick with a serious run here in the third. They're within 1.
Jackson Wolfram, the goal for Brunswick. The Bruins have scored 5 in this third quarter. Darien only 1. The Wave still controls a 1-goal lead, but they've watched as in the last 10 minutes, their lead has slowly slipped away from them, and Brunswick just has come back fighting. You can tell that second quarter was out of character for the Bruins, and this is the type of lacrosse that Brunswick fans are accustomed to seeing here.
And you knew it was going to come as long as the faceoffs kind of stayed the way they did. Right, Greenspan has been getting possession after possession to this offense. They're just too talented. They're too organized. Bruce is too good of a coach to, have scoreless quarters. So you knew the run was coming. It's now a question of, Darien, are you ready to weather it? Are you ready to punch back? Are you ready to answer it? And we'll find out here in a second. We'll see what they decide to try and do here on the face-off. They still are looking for answers to Greenspan.
Again, Darien has not won a face-off yet in this game. Brunswick 18-0 from the face-off X, in big part to the Notre Dame-bound Greenspan, wearing the number 7 jersey for Brunswick. Leo Barbagallo will look to have an answer. Barbagallo, a Darien sophomore. Here we go. Round ball into the empty space. Wilson can't get there. Whistle blown. And that's going to Darien. They finally overcome the hump, and they now have their first face-off win.
I think they're calling Spies for leaving the box there early, but I think that's something Darien needs to try and do is force Greenspan to use his wings, try and clean up, dirty up his exit a little bit so he has to get his wings more involved, and then, hope that you can have a player like Wilson or your other poles that are out there turn it into a ground ball fight on the wings rather than these clean exits to Greenspan himself.
Now Darien sets up their first time off a face-off win. McBride tripped up, gets right back up. Max McBride. Down low, and Williams will chase it out. Kind of jogging, and he will just watch it out, boxing out the Darien player in Rupenstein. Big hit from Doriso. Flag is thrown. And Brunswick now gets the free possession. That one against Doriso.
You could see that one coming. There's another flag there thrown, it looks like, unless that was earlier, but it looked like we saw another one coming on the near side here.
That must have been really delayed. The near side official just dropping the flag on the fields.
Or we have something else coming.
Wolfram on the far side. Bouncing it, and he scores! A top-tier goal from number 4, Max Warden. That's his hat trick, and it's the equalizer for Brunswick.
And Brunswick is feeling it here. Hoffman with a nice dodge down the alley. He's going to earn that slide. He's drawn that extra help. And Warden steps away from the inside where that help defender that's filling in for the slide man towards Hoffman is going. Makes that second
Brunswick
slide that
goal.
much longer.
Number 4,
And with that little bit of space he has,
Max
just kind of
Warden.
turns and beats Hagen.
The third time Warden's had a multi-goal this season, multi-goal game that is this season, and he is just a junior for this Brunswick team, keeping him in this game as Doriso will take a knee on the sidelines. Brunswick will go man up now after the Doriso check.
Yeah, another man down face here for Darien. We'll see how they decide to try and play this. It looks like they have a pole out there taking the face off, so they might be just trying to bother Greenspan on the win to himself or force him to not win it to himself. And then, you know, on the hit itself, I think the flag was probably because it looked like Doriso got about a 10-yard head start, and sometimes if you line somebody up like that from that far away, the ref's hand is just on the flag already. So it's the kind of thing that at the high school level is going to get called.
Jake Wilson taking the face-off. Delgado corrals it, so once again a face-off win for the Bruins. Under a minute left in this quarter. Leo Hoffman looking to give Brunswick their first lead since the first quarter. Brunswick might have found an answer to Carter Hagen. They have scored 6 unanswered in this third quarter. The long stick defensive Mac McGarren causing some disruption.
Yeah, Darien will play into your hands while they're man down. If you don't move the ball with some pace, they'll rotate aggressively and try and disrupt you.
Anderson winds up a score. Oh, off the side of the cage, that is. Looked like from this angle he put it in, instead on the far side. Anderson can't convert, my apologies.
Yeah, the sharp angle there from Anderson. He's scored from there already tonight, and he has the ability to do it. So
flag has been thrown at the midfields.
You see a flag here.
Forward to shoot on it. Darien doesn't look like they're going to get much offense. The referee does stop the play with 1.4. And they will assess that penalty.
And as you look at the game clock here, 1.4 seconds left. Darien to the man up. They will hold this ball and very much enjoy starting the fourth quarter without a face-off and just having the ball on man up.
Penalty against Anderson and the Bruins. Referees are going to have a quick discussion. 1.4 left in the third quarter. Trying to sort this out. And they are going to say Doriso is freed, so...
I think they were trying to sort that out to make sure the numbers were such that Darien will start the fourth quarter with the ball on man up because their penalty had been released.
So that will take us to the end of 3 quarters of play. 9-9 our score, and we have 12 minutes left in what is going to be a brand new bowl game for the final 12. You are watching the DAF Media Network. Grab some popcorn, settle in, because it's going to be an exciting finish between the Bruins and the Blue Wave.
DAF Media is actively seeking financial support. Founded in 2017, DAF Media has quickly become Southwestern Connecticut's source for quality sports, arts, and community programming. If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network and want to help us continue to deliver high-quality broadcasts while teaching lifelong STEM, communication, organization, and leadership skills, please email us at sponsor@dafmedia.org. We are a registered 501c3 organization.
Nine to 9. 12 minutes to play from the Darien High School Stadium Field in the annual battle of private school against public school. The Darien Blue Wave, the number 11 team in the country, the number 1 public school in the state of Connecticut, and Brunswick, the number 1 team in the nation, and the number 1 private school in Connecticut, in what is always a storied classic. And Dan, this game has lived up to the hype so far. 9-9, both teams have seen their runs, and it's just been a back and forth trench warfare.
Yeah, it's been, you know, Darien's been making it happen with some really, really well-designed and well-run offense. You know, they haven't had the depth of possession that Brunswick has enjoyed thanks to the tilting of the faceoff. But here to start the fourth, they find themselves on the man up, and this is where you want to really make sure you get a good look at the net. You really run your best play here and try and, you know, take the wind out of Brunswick's sails a little bit to start the fourth.
Darien starts with the ball. Darien again, they start man up. Anderson was assessed with the penalty to end off the quarter, so Darien won the faceoff by default. Cut was looking for Kevin Roach to finish. Roach, the 6'8 sophomore. They've run that play a couple times this season.
He is a big target inside. You don't need to do too much to free up Kevin Roach.
Brunswick player comes running back in. Both teams to even strength now. Picorni. Just wide, and Roach will keep it with the wave.
You see just how dangerous Picorni can be because of how easy it is for him to just get to an angle that he likes.
Rubenstein being picked up by Crosby. Now getting it back to McGuckin. Darien only scored 1 goal in the third quarter. They had a nice 8 spot in the first half. Looking for their first double-digit performance of the 2023 campaign.
And going to the big little here, the long pole and a short stick behind the net defending.
Picorni wraps around, going to the cage, and he scores! Brady Picorni putting up his 3rd of the game, and the Darien junior captain gives him the lead right back.
And that's an important goal for Darien. We said the big little there. You see a pick come. What they're trying to do is either just disrupt Spiess or get a switch. The disruption there is just enough for Picorni to get a quarter of a step, not even a half a step. And then once he gets upfield, he doesn't need a whole lot of angle to find the corner. So, you know, that matchup tonight for sure between Spiess and Picorni has delivered. They're both making excellent plays. I think that big little look that we just saw from Darien, haven't seen it too much tonight. See if they keep going back to that because of the way it just turned out.
Brady Picorni, the goal for Darien, his 3rd of the night. And Darien controls the 10-9 lead. Delgado controls the face-off. And Brunswick now setting up the offense. Brunswick, a team that is 4-0 on the season. Darien 1-0 on the season. The Wave looking to pull off the upset of the number 1 team in the nation. But they still got to go the next 10 minutes. And this Brunswick offense is hungry for some more.
And Darien looks back in the man-to-man here. They had shown some zone a little bit earlier. We'll see if they continue to mix it up or if they like their matchups.
Wolfram. The shot, and it's a goal. A big one from the freshman, Rick Giordano. His 2nd of the night, and Brunswick gets the equalizer, 10 apiece.
So he starts down the alley there and just kind of makes the transfer pass to Wolfram, who's been very electric for them tonight. He's got this help coming, but you can see what I think fools Hagen here. You can see him dip down. Giordano's hands go down a little bit, just below his hips, and Hagen kind of follows him, and then he lifts that shot back up, and Hagen gets kind of handcuffed by it, and it makes it by him over the shoulders.
Rick Giordano, the freshman, picking up his 2nd of the night, his 3rd career varsity goal. The Brunswick freshman making a huge impact for the Bruins. And now back to the face-off X. Dominated by Greenspan once again. The number 42 player in the class of 2023 just dominating from the face-off X.
Yeah, Darien just hasn't been able to find an answer there. We'll see. I mean, there's going to be more goals in this game. At least one.
Somebody's got to score. 10-10 our score, 9:30 left to play. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank and Dan Arestia with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network. DAF, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you live coverage of this varsity boys lacrosse match on this Thursday night.
And now back in the zone.
Anderson stopped by the big spoon of Carter Hagen. Hagen making the big stop right there, keeping us tied. McNamara knocked down, he loses it. Giordano swinging. And the ball going to Darien.
Darien's going to want a shorty to pick it up, and if there's one guy on you, you've got to run by him.
Lancaster on the ride. Lancaster still going. Eventually pickpocketed from Spies. Spies fields the ground ball, handing it off to Williams. Williams out to the midfield, Delgado. Missing on it is Picorni.
You see, as Brunswick rides, it's a whole team affair. Spies is coming from that far side to this side to make that takeaway check and then to win the ground ball on the corner here in front of us.
Now here's Anderson. He scored the last two for the Bruins. Actually, 2 out of the last 3. 8 minutes to play, 10-10 our score.
And Darien with kind of a zone look, more of a backer zone here with this pure invert. Anderson's going to be dodging a shorty, so you need to be ready to help quickly.
From the point, Hoffman bouncing it out of play. Might have hit our camera down there. Instead, Wolfram will restart it.
And I know Hoffman's dangerous, but right now I think that's kind of the shot Darien is looking to give up. They want those ones from range that Hagen get a chance to see.
Anderson, pesky defense from McNamara. He gets knocked down, no call. Turned away to Brunswick.
It seemed like everyone was waiting for a call there or something, but that was just a physical play from McNamara.
Delgado, stopped by Carter Hagen.
And those are back to, again, those shots that Hagen kind of wants to see and that Darien wants to give up.
Nice move by McGarren, transitioning it to Rupenstein. Carter Hagen keeping Darien in this game. And now the offense looking to convert. They bring Caesar out. Roach is in front of the cage. Doriso did leave to the locker room a bit ago, so Kevin Roach taking his place. Now McGuckin watching from behind him.
And we're back here again to the big little game with Picorni and whatever midfielder has a shorty on. So we'll see a pick set here with Spies.
Picorni the cut, stopped by Williams. Was looking to go up high to Barnett, and Williams saw that from step one.
He robbed that. That is going back to front as well as any goalie you'll see. He turned and found that ball in less than the blink of an eye. That is a spectacular save from Williams.
There's a reason that Tucker Williams is going to play in the Ivy Leagues next year, and it's for that reason right there. Actually, 2 springs for now. The Brunswick Junior making big stops like that. Whistle against the Bruins, going to Darien. The careless errors, and now Rupenstein on the ride. He takes it across the 50. Caesar, right back to Picorni. Lancaster, he shoots, he scores! Elliot Lancaster coming up clutch once again, and the Darien Junior gives the Wave the lead right back.
And we've seen this now. This is the second goal that's Darien scored this way, where in transition, Brunswick is just not organized. And Picorni is looking towards the middle. He's looking because he knows they have a numbers advantage. He's finding the open man. There it's Lancaster with, dead on in front of the goal from about 10 yards out. Williams is a special goalie, but I don't know how many goalies are going to make a save on that. So the kind of goal that Darien needs to keep trying to get. These transition opportunities, these numbers games where they play so well. That's how they practice. It's what they want to do.
Nostalgia for Darien. Lancaster won the game against Prep on Saturday with his goal, and he now puts the Wave up by 1. But again, the defense needs to come through. Jack Silsby diving forward on the grounds. And that's going to Darien. They get the face-off win thanks to the whistle. Silsby putting the body on the line, and the face-off unit wins it for the Wave. The refs will converse, however. They did change the call on the last time they conjured.
We'll see. It looked like Silsby was just trying to, and I know Greg Garanlian will hate if I say this, but he's trying to muck up the exit of Greenspan. He's just trying to tie him up. I know Greenspan's been trying to win it forward. It looks like Silsby's just trying to get down the line and get in his way. And when that happens, you get guys tied up, getting physical, and we'll see what they call here.
Looks like they're calling a redo, if you will, on the face-off. Saw this in the scrimmage for Darien against Cheshire last week. And the referees are now just going to let them redo it, if you will.
So it looked like, I'm trying to read the motions of the referee's hands. It looked like they were saying one player was withholding it and the other player pushed him or something like that. I'm honestly not 100% sure what results in a reface here, so. But that's where we are.
Sometimes there's a second chance, and right now we'll see it on the face-off. Silsby falling to the ground, flag is thrown. Jack Silsby once again putting the body on the line, winning the face-off for the Wave.
And he's going to draw a push there. You saw him rake that out just really quickly. It looked like kind of maybe a little reverse clamp and pulled it to his feet. And then he had it in his stick. He was able to scoop it up as Greenspan tried to make a play on it, and they're going to get him for a push with possession. So 30 seconds a man up here for Darien.
That's the inner football player, and Jack Silsby right there. You get a hold of the ball, you hold it all the way as he gets pushed through contact. Darien gets it and the 30-second man-up advantage with 5:38 to play. Picorni to McGuckin.
We'll see there'll be a little carry up here. Again, we're trying to find a little lane to the inside.
Bilodeau off the stick of a Brunswick defender. The tip, and they keep it with the Wave.
So again, Darien likes to, on the man up, carry up from those low wings, have a high player cut down into the crease, and a crease player step off to try and create a little 3-on-2 confusion with the defense.
The shot off the post. Picorni wanted another, but the aluminum stops him.
He gets this off in the blink of an eye, too.
Bilodeau on the restart. Now to McGuckin. Briggs McGuckin, he's had a couple to his name tonight.
And we're seeing another Darien back to it again here, the big little game. With a long pole and a short stick defending for Brunswick. They're going to try and pick to try and free up Picorni.
Picorni wrapping it around just over that corner. Barnett will track it down, keeping the possession with the Wave.
And that's twice now where Picorni has rejected the pick. He's decided to go his own way there to his right hand and come back to his preferred left.
Rupenstein. Running around the perimeter now.
And with no shot clock, you know that these teams are going to be holding for the shots that they really want, particularly Darien with a lead here. It's not going to be a stall, but it's going to be an effort to try and really make sure you get a high percentage look.
Picorni. And Darien keeps it moving, under 4 minutes to play.
Spies wins that round again. Those two going at it tonight has been fun to watch.
Morgan Rupenstein. Again, cradling that ball. Botafuco trying to knock it loose. Porter Barnett.
And the referees now are putting on the stall call for Darien. They have to keep it in the box. There's no shot clock yet, but they have to keep it in the box. So their area to work with just shrunk.
And a careless turnover right there. The long stick of Hublitz going on the ride. Off to Mahalik, the senior captain. Darien killed some time, but this Bruins offense is lethal. Can Hagan make another big stop? Or will Brunswick prevail? And we will just have to wait and see as head coach David Bruce takes his first time out for this Brunswick team. 11-10, Darien leads Brunswick. And Dan, what's the strategy for Brunswick in the 3-minute drill?
Well, you got to be talking about a couple of things in this Brunswick huddle right now. You have to be ready for a zone. Darien has showed more and more zone as this game has gone on, and they're happy to let Carter Hagan see shots from range that are unscreened. So you want to try and be ready for some kind of zone look that overloads one side, makes the defense move. And again, you want to try and create a look that's on the interior if you can, where Carter Hagan has had a harder time maybe with shots that he can't, get around to as quickly. If Darien comes out in the man-to-man, then you need to be ready to try and initiate either with Hoffman or with Anderson, have been their two go-to guys here so far. You'll see maybe a look where you see some picking for one of them, or you just try and initiate with Hoffman coming down the middle of the field from up top. It's worked for them before. He's created some really good looks that way. So kind of two different strategies that they need to be ready for. They don't know what Darien's going to do, but if I was Darien here, I'm maybe thinking I'd come back out in my zone a little bit here. Zones, again, can slow a game down, which is okay when you're in a lead and there's 3 minutes left. And it can create shots from range that are maybe a higher percentage look because they're unscreened. But if your goalie's saving them, maybe you're willing to do that. So we'll see kind of how they look. It looks like man-to-man because you can see Wilson and Hoffman strutting on over to that ball right there. And looks like maybe those two are going to be going another round.
3 minutes to play. Darien 11, Brunswick 10. It's crunch time from the Darien High School Stadium Field on this Thursday night. Giordano to restart. At X. Wolf from the high pass. That goes at ball to Darien. Exactly the opposite of what head coach David Bruce drew up for the Bruins. Only kills about 18 seconds, but Darien gets the possession, and now Carter Hagan. Risky pass there, gets it to the long stick of Bonner.
And Brunswick back in a 10-man here. If you're in trouble, yep.
Huckett downfields. Intercepted from Mahalik. It's actually Plath. Now to Delgado. Tomas Delgado with the ball.
So a quick couple of not exactly what we expected there. An unforced error from Brunswick. And
the shot, it's a goal! Tomas Delgado gets the equalizer with 2:04 to play. The Duke commit, number 2 player in the country. Tomas Delgado knots us up.
And you'll see Hoffman coming down here. All he does really is move it along, and the defense is just not quite ready to be there with their stick in Delgado's hands. And he is as good of a shooter as you'll find in all of high school lacrosse. So with that kind of space, you'll see a good overhand release to change levels, to try and make Hagan move. Don't go high to high. He will stop it.
Tomas Delgado, his 9th goal on the season. And with 2:04 to play, it's a brand new ball game. 11-11. Silsby won the last one for the Wave. Greenspan gets back to his winning ways from the face-off X. Now to the long stick of Hublitz. Brunswick setting up the offense. They have not led this game since the first quarter. It has been all Darien on the lead. They did see a tie back at 8-8. Actually, it was 9-9 where they saw the tie. And Darien got the goal from Lancaster to get the 10th. Delgado scored the last. Giordano has 2. He gets the touch. Now to Hoffman. Leo Hoffman dodging to the cage. Going high. Hoffman was looking to end it right there. Just high past the cage. And possession stays with the Bruins.
And this doesn't miss by much. Ooh, that didn't miss by much at all.
Matter of inches. Keeps this game tied off the screen. The shot. Wide. And possession staying with the Bruins yet again, thanks to Peyton Anderson.
And that's Hoffman again. They're still going with Wilson basically on an island there.
The instant classic of Brunswick and Darien. The shot, it's a goal! Brunswick gets the lead right back. Who else but Peyton Anderson adding another.
The referees are talking about it. They haven't signaled goal yet. They're waving it off.
No goal, it's the goal. The refs take it off the scoreboard. And Darien will play it. It's chaos on the field. Absolute atrocity. They call the goal off. I'm wondering if we could see another replay of that, guys. The referees call it off, making the call of the game. Anderson comes up,
You'll be able to see it here. Does his foot get in there?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Turnover. Anderson looking to get it right back. Knocked down. The aggressive play continues. Brunswick still in disbelief. The referee's still trying to figure it out. Timeout to David Bruce. He's still looking for an explanation on that crease violation. It's 11-11, folks. You can't make this stuff up, Dan Arestia. A goal for Anderson waved off by the referees, keeping us tied at 11.
As soon as they ran in there, they were taking a little while to think about it, to talk about whether or not it was a goal. You knew something might be up. On the replay, you really couldn't get a super clear look. We only had kind of the one angle of it there, but from the one angle we had, I don't know if that if this was a bad call or not. Could see it. This is kind of the angle where maybe you see a little bit. I don't see his feet go in here, so I don't know. I don't know what the referee who made the call, if he had a different angle or he had a better look, but. Either way, it's 11-11, and you saw after that, Darien wanted to go fast. They tried to clear right away. Hagen tried to get it up and out, but the referees called it back, and now we're back here again, 50 seconds left. One more look at this.
Again, they're playing that blue line. The referees call it off right there.
Yeah, so the referees waved that off as a no goal. They called him for being in the crease. Unless they're saying that he in college, there's the goal mouth. They call it a goal mouth thing, but there's no goal mouth here. So I'm not sure if they just they might have missed that one, but it didn't look from that angle quite like Anderson was in. But it's all in the past now. Water under the bridge. 50 seconds left. You see, Hoffman's been triggering everything here in this last 2 minutes. I would expect him to get the ball yet again.
11-11 our score. 50 seconds left. That was Brunswick's second and final timeout. So they're going to have to play this last 50 seconds straight. Again, no shot clock. So Brunswick hypothetically could hold for the final possession. Delgado going to the cage, retreats it out. Now to Hoffman. Darien student section getting into the game. Down low. That one just off the stick of number 4, Warden. And that ball's going to Darien. The Wave will get a chance. 29 seconds left. Can they get the goal?
They've got to clear it. Brunswick is not in their 10-man with their goalie out here.
Big hit by Lancaster. He spins out of it. Lancaster keeps on riding. There's confusion on it. Jeff Braymeyer looking for an explanation. Not really sure what happened
I think they're
there.
giving him a timeout, and he's saying, I didn't call it. I don't know where they're going to put him. I think, I would imagine what Coach Braymeyer is trying to do here is he wants his timeout to be ready the second the ball gets over the midfield line because he doesn't want to have to clear it out of a timeout. So he might have been telling the ref, hey, look, when it gets over, I want a timeout. And the ref just heard timeout and blew the whistle or something like that. But, normally in that situation, you don't want to clear the ball out of a timeout. So you wait till your guy has it over the midfield line. You call timeout there. And then you can start with your play here with 20 seconds left with the ball and not have to clear it first. So I don't know where they gave him that timeout. We'll see where they have Darien pick the ball up or if they have to make a clear, get it over the midfield line. It was pretty close either way. And then after that, it's 20 seconds to try and make something happen. I would expect Darien to try and get the ball behind. Obviously, number 99 is going to be involved here. You're going to see Brady Picorni touch the ball. I think that Big Little, working with a pick on Spies to try and create just, again, a half a step of space for Picorni to try and get to the goal line and create something is what I would go back to. Darien's been successful in creating looks with that. The goals haven't been as plentiful in this half for Darien, but the looks have still been there. So I would say they have to go with something like that again. We'll see where they get the ball here. That's something to watch. It looks like it is back on their defensive end.
So it looks like the referee is setting it up on the 45-yard line. Darien will have to clear it the 5 yards.
Yep, it's right on the 45, right on the hash there. You see it just above the corner of the D there. So we'll see how Darien has this drawn up to clear it. They're going to have Picorni just pick it up here and run over with it and treat him like he's a midfielder. or they can just throw it over.
So Picorni, he's going to be faced with a triple team. He pulls off the nice move and the spin move. Picorni off to the races. 13 to work. Picorni's got to be aware of the time. 10 seconds. I don't think he knows. 6. Picorni, can he win it? The shot. And it's in! Brady Picorni wins it! Brady Picorni with the goal with 1 second left, and the heroics from the Darien Jr. Brady Picorni with the biggest goal of the game. And just like that, Darien is 1 second away from dethroning the top team in the country.
You're going to get another look at this. This is Brady Picorni not even doing what Brady Picorni does best. He's on the wrong side of the field for him. He gets to his right hand from up top, and he beats Williams from range. Just a spectacular play there. A case of Brady Picorni saying, you know what, I can do anything. I can do everything on offense. He clears it himself, gets to a spot, and says, I'm winning the game right here.
And Brunswick needs a miracle. I don't know if they're going to get it. 1.7. And Darien has dethroned the #1 team in the nation. The Bruins have been thrown off their throne, and Darien is the new top dogs in the country. The first ever time Darien takes down the Bruins, and the student section storms the field. The Bruins in disbelief. Brady Picorni, the hero. The last second possession, heaving it from the 30, going high on Williams, and Brady Picorni, the hero, as Darien takes down Brunswick.
It always delivers. Every year, it doesn't matter what the rankings are or anything. When they play, it always delivers. You want to see this game every year. The kids want to play each other every year. Coaches want to play each other every year. Programs this good. I would watch another 4 quarters of this. Line them up again. Let's play another one. Let's keep doing it. It's so much fun. This was so special. I can't believe, I mean, what a game Brunswick played too. And Darien, to their credit, overcoming a dominant performance from Andrew Greenspan facing off and overcoming a serious run there in the second half where Brunswick really battled back and they were starting to beat Hagen. They kind of found the formula, but man, Darien weathers the storm there in the second half. And who else wins it? Number 99, Brady Picorni, with a just remarkable play, calling his own number on a clear, getting to a spot, and winning it right-handed instead of left-handed.
That's how the play started, Dan. They had to clear it past the 45. Picorni showed off the stickboard, spun his way out of it, took it off, fired it from the 30. He did it all on that possession.
I mean, you don't see guys with that kind of range too often. If they were playing in the pros, that's a 2-pointer. That thing was from range from Brady Picorni. And again, with his wrong hand. So, I mean, a special night. I think the Darien defense deserves a lot of credit tonight. I think, you saw them trust Jake Wilson a lot tonight, leaving him on an island with Leo Hoffman, one of the best Dodgers in America. And I think for most of the night, Wilson was really up to the task. I think you saw some really nice play from McNamara. I think he and Anderson went back and forth a great deal, and they really battled. I think you saw, McNamara as an underclassman stepping up and guarding the kid who's ready to go to Syracuse and play right away is special. But, you have to love what you saw here tonight. This is the game that had basically everything. The big run in the first half for Darien, the big battle back for Brunswick, and coming down to the last shot of the game, really. It's as fun as it gets.
These teams historically have been two of the best teams in the country. 2019, head coach David Bruce, Jeff Braymeyer came together, said we should play each other. Brunswick took the first 3 meetings, but 4th time's a charm as Darien finally takes down Brunswick, their first ever victory against the Bruins in program history. And just like that, the #1 team in the country has fallen, and there might be a new #1 team, and I have a chance.
A new #1.
It could be the boys from Darien, Connecticut. What a win from Darien. I'm at a loss of words right now. What a performance from Carter Hagen, keeping Darien in a game. What a performance by Picorni to win it for Darien. And then you throw in all the other players here and there, a true team effort.
Yeah. Carter Hagen deserves a serious tip of the hat for his first half performance alone. He made big saves down the stretch, but it was face-off win after face-off win for Greenspan, so it was possession after possession for Brunswick, and Hagen was up to it, making saves like crazy in that first half to kind of enable Darien to push that lead to where they got it to, because Brunswick couldn't get one in.
To your point, Darien did a great job of neutralizing that faceoff. Brunswick led Darien 25-2 on faceoff wins. Darien only won 2 faceoffs, both by the whistle, and they still found a way to come away with a victory by the final of 12-11. The instant classic of Darien and Brunswick next year. I got to assume they'll be shifting back to Crosby Field in Greenwich, Connecticut, and the Bruins are going to be hungry for that one. That's going to be a date they have circled on their calendar for the next year or so. But what a classic we were treated to tonight.
Yeah, I'll be there for that one.
I'm not sure if I will, but Dan, you'll definitely be there. I want to thank you, Dan, for coming on the broadcast. It was a pleasure calling this game with you, and truly a spectacular one between Darien and Brunswick. I'm going to give a shout out to our fantastic DAF Media production crew tonight, bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. Cooper Kelly, Andrew Lee, Liam Tomaszewski, Thomas Aponte, Ben Wychulis, and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew, overseeing this entire operation. For all of them, Dan Aresta joined alongside me, saying so long from Darien High School. I've been Braden Shank, and this has been a production of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Again, Darien, your victors for the first time ever against the Brunswick Bruins by the final of 12-11. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.